Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Pick 6, Week 5. You might be wondering, where is Nick Coit? Is he playing hooky again on a Friday? No, actually. He made the trip from here in Providence down to Westerly for our primetime matchup tonight. It's the Bulldogs against Central.
The long trip, as true Rhode Islanders would say, to the other end of the state for our Week 5 primetime matchup. Westerly the hosts, Central the visitors for this one. Both programs with winning records so far this season. For the Bulldogs, they had to play without their young standout QB, Landon Hustero, the sophomore in a walking boot. So Caleb Williams, not to be confused with the Chicago Bears top draft pick. This Williams moving from receiver to under center tonight. This game a defensive stalemate until the Knights finally get in the end zone in the second quarter. Evan Soto, the QB keeper. The officials making sure he was over the goal line. Arms go up, missed extra points, so it was 6-0 Knights. But the Bulldogs responding on the other end after a bad snap on a punt by Central. Westerly makes it hurt. Williams to Samson Farrell because he's happy to make the grab for the score. Westerly makes its extra point, so it was 7-6 Bulldogs at the break. Third quarter, the Bulldogs extending their lead. Williams quickly tosses up for Tyler Brayman, who's wide open, makes the grab, goes in for the score, extends it to 14-6 Bulldogs, upset brewing. But late in the third, the Knights settling things down with their rushing attack. Ramel Richards is in to cut the deficit down to 14-12. Then early in the fourth, some toughness again from the QB Soto after a couple of keepers. Gets his team to the goal line. The senior breaks the plane, completes the comeback. Central takes the lead 18-14. Most of the fourth quarter, a defensive battle, but the exclamation point coming late when Richard Bridges builds Central's path to clinching the victory. The long touchdown run by Bridges ends the night. Central scoring 20 unanswered to win this one 26-14 over Westerly. Quarterback Evan Soto, our Pick 6 primetime performer. Here with our Week 5 primetime performer, it is quarterback Evan Soto for Central. And Evan, we were talking about it, walking over to the camera here. A lot of adversity in this game for you and your team, but 20 unanswered points in the second half. Just how did you guys come through there in the second half?
Man, the speech coach gave us, halftime speech, man, it clicked a lot of people's heart. And we just had to come out here and we had to show them that this is what we do.
When you go through adversity, I'm sure that, you look at it and you say, man, you feel like you earned a victory when you got on the bus tonight.
For sure earned this victory. We came out here and, it wasn't looking too pretty. We came out here, it was a dogfight, and then second half, came out here and we dominated.
You and Coach had a nice moment there on the sideline after Richard ran that long touchdown there in the fourth quarter. Just what did he tell you there?
He said, I don't even really remember. I was so into the moment myself. I was just like, yo, we really just did that. I was just super happy that my boy Richard just scored.
How can that help you going forward, the fact that a lot of guys can contribute?
That's just how we practice, and going forward, that's just the mentality we need to have every game. The second half mentality, we need to have that.
Evan Soto, our primetime performer for Week 5 here. Central defeats Westerly.
What a great game. Nice comeback and way to close it out by the Knights. Want to be a fly on the wall in the locker room there to hear what head coach Mike Washington said to his team. But you can see from the footage that Nick gathered there just what a difference he makes with this team. You remember what Central's football team was like before he took over, really playing competitively now in Division I, surviving the scare against that Division II team. Now we take a look at the last undefeated team in Division I, St. Ray's, at the top of the standings in a longtime Pawtucket rivalry game against Tolman. Homecoming for the Saints against their crosstown rivals, Thanksgiving matchup till about 20 years ago. The Tigers down one in the second quarter, slant pattern from Noah Taylor to Hasten Ortiz. That's a touchdown. Tolman takes the lead. It's 12-7. Few minutes left in the half. They're in the red zone again, but the ball comes out, recovered on the play by Nelson Martinez. St. Ray's able to rally and win here, 14-12. On the grass in Coventry, Mount Pleasant taking the trip out to play the Oakers, and the Kilties with a threat here. Pass over the middle to Jose Perez. He sees the goal line but is brought down at the 1-yard line. MP doesn't punch it in there. You know who does? Coventry. Nathan Petraka through a wide open hole. Home team going up 3 scores, and Coventry goes on to win 34-6. The Townie Band's seniors recognized after their halftime performance. Their parents on the field for the break as East Providence plays Shea. This here is the second half kickoff. Now it bounces to one of the stars of Pick 6 this year. Shea Dan, I can't feel my face when I'm with you, but I love it. Shea Dan Lovett takes this all the way to the house. EP up big, and they win big, 42-0 over the Raiders. Middletown ripping through the Big M onto the field for their matchup with Cranston East down on Aquidneck Island, and they kept running after that. Pitching the ball to the running back, he's up the sideline, dragging dudes into the end zone. The last 5 yards are a struggle, but he's in. 6-0 for the Islanders after the rugby scrum. There was more where that came from. Pass over the middle, and he's going to jog into pay dirt untouched. Middletown gets the shutout victory, 27-0. Central Falls going for its first win of the year, hosting Tollgate out of Division 4 tonight. The Warriors in the red zone, but pushed back by the Titans defense. Nathan Gamba Massey blowing up the run in the backfield, but they couldn't hold CF back for long in this second half. Jay Del Santiago takes the handoff around the outside. He hops past the plane. Central Falls winning on defense and offense. This play right here, it's a pick that's brought down at the 1 yard line. Warriors 38, Titans nothing. Smithfield against North Smithfield, and no, they are not the same town. Winner gets about 500 in Division 4. Early on, the Sentinels hand it to their big man, and they dare you to stop it. Aaron Archibald bouncing off defenders and ripping off a huge touchdown run. Home team goes up 7-0. Later on, they're backed up and disaster strikes here. A fumble in the end zone, recovered by the Northmen. Devin Brotka jumps on the loose ball for 6 points. That's how this ball game gets tied, but that's the only score that North Smithfield would get tonight, though. Smithfield takes over from there, 32-7. Up in Massachusetts, Somerset Berkeley on a 4-game winning streak, celebrating its seniors against Old Rochester. The Raiders knocking on the door. Quarterback keeper for Brendan McDonald. He punches it in for the TD, but Old Rochester able to use some ground and pound as well. They burst through the hole to find pay dirt. Both these teams lighting up the scoreboard tonight. SB falls by a final score of 49-35. In Fall River, Diamond undefeated on the year, taking on Southeastern Regional Vo-Tech to stay unbeaten. The Tigers go for the pop pass. What a grab by Logan Uon. All hands. Ooh, ah, what a play. Tigers go up 24-13. Later on, lined up to punt. This ball hits the returner, so the football's live, and Diamond is all over it. Aiden Bigelow jumping on the pigskin. They bleed the clock out from there. The Tigers 5-0, 24-13. Out in Swansea, Case hosting Bourne in a South Coast League showdown. The Canalmen running the ball to the outside. Malachi Coelho spinning in for 6 points, and Coelho not done on the night. He'd get the ball again. This one, he gets a little less dizzy. He is in there standing up. The final score from this one, 45-18. Bourne defeats Case. That's all for Pick 6. Stick around. More sports next.